Newzoo put together a study that shows what revenues are going to look like for Xbox if you include Activision Blizzard in them, which they will now from now on. What kind of publisher does it look like? And if you look at this chart here, it's actually pretty mind-boggling. So Xbox on its own would be in fourth place behind Apple and Sony in gaming revenue, which for the record, remember when Sony was saying that, hey, this is going to make them a monopoly in gaming? Not even close. Sony is still way ahead of them when it comes to just Xbox. Now that Sony has acquired Activision Blizzard, it puts them ahead of them, and projections show that it could be even more. However, it keeps them still way far behind Tencent. Tencent absolutely is dominating in the gaming industry. This is a article here, or a study that Newzoo put together. Here's a tweet. Updated 2023 Global Games Market Report. The global games market will generate $184 billion in 2023. $184 billion. That's huge. That's why Game Pass exists. That's why Microsoft is jumping all in on gaming. That's why Apple's jumping all in on gaming. That's why Google's jumping into gaming and Amazon's jumping into gaming. Remember, Phil Spencer said they don't see their competition actually as Sony. They see their competition as anyone with cloud, right? As Google, as Amazon, as Apple. These are going to be their competition going forward. We're seeing a shift in the gaming industry, a shift in the powerhouse. This is like Hollywood. This is the beginning of Hollywood. If Hollywood were up for grabs, and that's what's happening. Gaming is the new Hollywood, and it's up for grabs, and everybody's consolidating and making a jump for it, and they see how much money is to be made in this entertainment sphere. And it's really good for gamers. I think we're at the dawn of the golden age of gaming. I've said this before. $184 billion in 2023. The market will grow to, this is the key, the market will grow, they're anticipating, to $205 billion by 2026. That's huge. That's absolutely huge growth right there. And you can see right here is the numbers, how they look. Now, this is if you include Activision Blizzard. Once again, if you don't include them, they're actually in fourth place. So you can see how critical Activision Blizzard was to this. You can see why, indeed, it was opposed by Sony, because look at the difference maker here. Now, I have a couple questions here. So how will this shift in revenue impact the future strategies of Xbox and PlayStation in the gaming market? And I just use Xbox and PlayStation particularly because obviously Nintendo's on here, obviously Apple's on here, but those are the two traditional ones. What does Sony do in response to this? And I think we're going to see Sony make some shifts and adjustments and moves here. We already saw it earlier with Destiny. They acquired Bungie, and they're looking to get into the live service game there. Does Microsoft do anything to compete with Tencent? Is Microsoft able to get Activision Blizzard to a point, as well as their other first-party studios with Bethesda and whatnot, to a point where they're competing with Tencent? We'll see. Tencent's a powerhouse. Tencent has a lot of mobile games. Mobile gaming is absolutely huge. Can Game Pass get them there? I think they can. Honestly, I think Game Pass, if this is the future of Hollywood, if this is like, think of where it's just the beginning of the Hollywood age, and gaming is the future of entertainment, then we're just at the beginning of this thing. And it absolutely makes sense that Game Pass would be able to do that. So how will it affect decisions? I think this is it. I think we're off to the races here. Honestly, could the acquisition? Here's another question: Could the acquisition of Activision Blizzard by Xbox lead to a monopoly in the gaming industry? And what are the potential repercussions? I don't think so, not yet, because of, look, they're barely ahead of Sony. You got to give it to Sony. Sony has absolutely crushed it in the last decade, easily. Crushing it. They've been the best game makers. They have the best storytelling. They have the best first party titles. It's not even close. Even in the 360 era. Not only that, Sony jumped in against Nintendo, remember, and just completely dominated. They really brought CDs. They were the first to really take us to that next generation of 3D gaming. So there's a lot of brand loyalty there as well. So I don't think we're in the realm of monopoly yet. I'm not a lawyer. That's for lawyers to decide. But just from the outside looking in, that's where it is. What about Xbox potential revenue overtaking mean for gamers in terms of game quality, variety, and pricing, especially for Xbox gamers? What does that mean for us? I think it means that, again, this is just the beginning. I think Xbox has stepped up. I think Microsoft is saying, hey, we're all in on gaming. There's no doubt here. And we want to be part of this $205 billion industry. We want to be the kingmakers here. We're all in. We're going to go out and acquire these studios. We're going to create Game Pass. We're going to invest in cloud. We're going to invest in AI chips. We're going to invest in chips that make cloud gaming more efficient. We're going to partner with third-party developers as far as hardware is concerned. So developers like Steam Deck with AOG or the ROG Ally, and bring gaming mobile. Our goal is to have our games and Game Pass in the hands of 1 billion players, and so we're going to create an app that lets us do that via mobile. And you can see where the strategy is. Now, are they able to accomplish this? We'll see. This is just the beginning. I think we're in for a very fun and exciting time in gaming. We're in for a very, very fun time in the Xbox sphere. If you're an Xbox fan, if you're an Xbox fanboy like myself, it's a very exciting time to be a game. I am interested to see what Apple does. I'm interested to see what Sony does. I'm interested to see what Nintendo does. What do they do to compete? How does this competition continue to innovate? How does it continue to push the genre forward, the genre of gaming, the overall industry forward? I think we're just at the beginning of this, and it's very exciting. I'd love to know what you guys think. Number one, do you think that this does lead to a monopoly? I mean, look, this puts Microsoft in number 2. Could they potentially be a monopoly? What do you think Sony does in response? What about Apple? What about Nintendo? Where do we go from here? Can Microsoft catch Tencent? That's a huge question. You can see Tencent absolutely dominates in the gaming space. And does the market continue to grow? Is $205 billion just the beginning of this? I think so. I really do. I don't think we're even close to hitting the ceiling that gaming has and the potential ceiling that gaming has for revenue here going forward. I'd love to know what you guys think. If you like this video, if you like videos like this, my name is X1 the Gamer. We do videos like this all the time right here on this channel. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe. If you like this video too, share it with your friends. If you know anybody else who would enjoy these types of videos. I'm not an expert. I'm not a journalist. I'm just a gamer. And I love sitting down and talking to you about these news stories that drop. I'm an Xbox fanboy, so we're going to have an Xbox stint and tint and taint to them. And that's what I'm here for. Love you guys. Have a great rest of your day. We'll see you next time.